Do you know the difference between active duty Navy and the Naval Reserve? Well, in this video, I'm going to tell you the most important differences for you to know. Welcome to the Navy Mustang channel. Today, we're going to talk about the differences between active duty and reserves in the Navy. I'm going to tell you what you have to do on active duty and what you have to do in the reserves. That's the biggest thing. What are your commitments for active duty versus what are your commitments for the reserves? What careers can you do on active duty and what careers can you do in the reserves? What are the qualifications needed for active duty and what are the qualifications needed for reserves? So first, let's start with active duty. For active duty, it's very simple. All you have to have is a bachelor's degree and do very, very well in a test called the ASTB or the OAR. If you do these things, you can become a pilot, a naval flight officer, you can become an intelligence officer, a ship's officer, you can become pretty much any type of officer, nuclear engineer, civil engineer, whatever you want. If you're a doctor, you can become a doctor in the Navy, you can become a dentist, you could become a psychologist, anything you can imagine, you can become it in the Navy. But all you need is that training from school. That's the beauty of it. All right, so different careers on active duty have different time commitments. You can be committed to a minimum of 4 years of active duty, which means you work in the Navy every day, Monday through Friday, or whatever the mission entails, all right, for at least 4 years, up to like 10 years, depending on what the career is. If you're going to become a pilot, the training pipeline for a pilot is so long that it will likely be a 10-year career at a minimum, and then you do another 10 years and you get to a retirement. So that's active duty in a nutshell. Now let's move on to the reserve. In the Naval Reserves, it's a little different. If you're a civilian trying to become a reserve officer, you must have your degree and you have to have experience in the area that you're trying to go into. So let's say you want to be a supply officer. You have to have your degree in supply-related fields, business management, supply chain management, anything like that. But then you also have to have the experience related to that field. Now in the reserves, we also have a lot of different careers. You have civil engineers, you have nuclear engineers, you have doctors, you have supply officers, intelligence, cyber warfare, all kind of careers that are definitely going to help you for your own career. You know, I'm a reservist myself, and I have been able to use my career in the reserves and my civilian career in tandem. When I go up in one, that kind of brings my other career up, and then when this one goes up, then it brings my other career up. And, you know, just like that, it works phenomenal for you or anybody that you may know. Now, similar to active duty, in the Naval Reserves, you have time commitments as well. But they're not as long as active duty. So you may have a 3-year commitment and then tops a 5-year commitment depending on whatever career you decide to go into. Now, these commitments are completely different. On active duty, you're there every day. In the reserves, you're working 1 week in a month and then 2 weeks for the year. And when you work with a lot of different units, you can actually put the weekends for the month, the 2 days, you can put 3 months together and work 6 days in 1 month. So that way you don't have to go drill every month for 3 months. I mean, it's a lot more latitude that the Naval Reserves gives you in order for you to have your family, to have your own career, and to continue to serve your country, which is really what most of us want to do anyway. All right, but now there are very specific things that you have to meet no matter whether you want to be in the Naval Reserves or active duty. You have to be an officer in the Naval Reserves or active duty, you have to be a U.S. citizen, you have to have a college degree, usually with a 2.8 GPA or above. You have to be in great physical condition, and you must have a clean criminal record. Listen, even though I'm a recruiter right now, the real reason I decided to start doing these videos is because I am extremely passionate about the Navy. I mean, the Navy has done so many great things for me and my family. And like I told you, I'm a civilian. I'm a reservist with a civilian career and a Navy career. And if you ask my wife, she loves me in the Navy more than she loves me in my other career. Because that shows how much the Navy has helped us to be better and to be where we are right now. So I'm extremely passionate about the Navy. I've actually been in the Navy for about 17 years, actually going on 18 years. I've seen so many different things, so many different cultures. I've seen real leadership in action. There are just so many different things that the Navy has helped me with that I want everybody to be able to experience that. And if I am a beacon of hope for those people that may want to experience it, then perfect. So listen, if you want to know whether you qualify to become an officer in the Navy or the Navy Reserves, and you want to know what careers you probably qualify for, just fill out the Navy Competitiveness Form down here, and then I'll get back to you. All right, but listen, make sure you subscribe to this channel because on my next video, I'm going to talk about the many advantages and opportunities that you have in the Navy Reserves. I'm actually going to go deeper into what it is like to be in the Navy Reserves and all the different things that you can learn and all the different things that you can get out of the Navy Reserves. The Navy Mustang is out.